This is the plaintiff, Noah. She says she rented an apartment from the defendant and the woman did nothing about the rodent infestation. And the living conditions were gross. The defendant retaliated to her complaints by evicting her illegally. The defendant also threw her couch out, and she's here suing for the state max of $5,000 for all this horrible things the woman's put her through. This is the defendant, Helen Pugmire. She says she inherited the plaintiff's lease when she purchased the building and acted promptly when the plaintiff complained about rodents by hiring an exterminator. At the end of the plaintiff's lease, she decided to move out and she left behind her couch, so she threw it out. There was never an illegal lockout either because the plaintiff's lease was done. She had a new tenant moving in and the locks are always changed between tenants. She is accused of being a lackadaisical landlord. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $500 for legal costs.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff rented from the defendant, but there was a rodent problem, and when the plaintiff complained, the defendant kicked her out. The defendant says she hired an exterminator, so what's the problem? It's the case of La Cucaracha.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome in.
Okay, Noah,
Yes.
you are suing for half of the rent that you paid your landlord, Helen Pugmire,
Yes.
to be returned to you because, according to you, the living conditions were deplorable. You're also suing for a couch that you say that she illegally threw out. When did you start living there?
I started living there 2016 August.
With two roommates, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you lived there until when was the last day that your roommates were going to live there?
The end of August 2018.
Okay, and in fact, before that was the end of your lease,
Yes.
right? Had you guys informed her that you weren't going to stay living there?
Yes.
You had told her we're out.
Yes.
You got a new tenant, right?
Yes.
And the new tenant was moving in on September 1st.
Yes.
So it's very clear that you're supposed to be out. And then what happens? You change your mind and you decide you're going to stay?
Yes.
How are you going to stay when you have no roommates? What was your plan on paying the rent?
I was going to find new roommates.
When do you tell her I'm staying?
A few
When
days.
do you change your mind?
A few days before we
When?
were supposed to move out. The 29th of August.
How do you tell her?
I
Text?
sent her an email.
Let me see the email. That's not the 29th, is it?
What date was it? I said around. I wasn't sure.
It's the 31st of August.
Okay.
It's the day you're supposed to be moving out.
Okay.
That's the very day that your roommates are both moving out, right? It's move out day. Everybody's moving. That's the day that you tell her, I will not be vacating the premises or giving up the lease. There is no need for a walkthrough, as I will not be returning the keys. So what was left behind in the apartment?
It's a beat up couch. Also, there's so many garbage in front of the house.
Let me see your pictures. Go ahead, you can give them to me. Who is the gentleman with you?
My husband.
Oh, okay. So I see, what is that? What are these pieces of wood?
Those wood is the couch wood frame. It's all like falling apart.
Did someone move the couch?
She moved.
No,
the
it's
couch.
in there. It's
In another picture?
Yeah, it's
right.
like a broken. You see the spring
this?
on the back. Yes.
That's the couch?
Yeah, that's
right.
the thing. Was just laying there.
And then this is a picture of what? The couch?
Yeah, and some
A toaster oven that was left behind.
garbage.
Where's all your clothes? If you weren't moving out, where's all your clothes?
I had some things that I left there and some things that... These pictures were taken on the 1st, so they were taken after she already removed a lot of my items. I thought it was illegal to talk about things that I've already taken her to court for. I've already taken her to court for a legal lockout, so that shouldn't be talked about. What I'm here for is
hold
for
on one
breach of
second.
contract.
And no, it's not illegal. I can talk about it till the cows come home. In fact, I have to know what was already ruled on there. Now, you filed a case where? In housing court?
Yes.
Okay, and your allegation there was what?
That
There
I was illegally locked out.
All right, and then how was that case resolved? You had a lawyer, your lawyer told you, offer her a little money and let's get this done and over with.
Yeah, there's a decision.
There's a settlement for $200, right?
Yeah.
Because she claimed that she did not illegally lock me out, and
Right,
I
but there's
said...
is it correct that you settled that case for $200?
Yes.
All right. You are suing because you want to have half of your portion of the rent for the 14 months that you lived there returned to you. And here are your photos. Tell me about it.
Okay, we moved into the apartment. There had always been a major rodent issue. It wasn't just mice, it was rats. You could see rats outside. They would dig holes in the front of the premises. Then when she took over...
There was a prior owner, she takes over in the middle of your lease?
She takes over, yes. And in the beginning, she tried to tell me that it didn't exist. I showed her the areas that I saw the mice entering and leaving from. She told me it was impossible, that the spaces were too small.
Oh, they can collapse into nothing to get in, yeah.
She had, little people who come and they just do more preventative measures.
So small corporation, smaller pest control people came in and did what?
They would do sprays behind the stove, the heater, but it was nothing that ever had any real effect. And then she gave me, stuff to fill the holes, and I kept telling her, these are all preventative measures. The issue is way bigger than this because the mice had chewed through the steel wool. They were coming in. Anytime we would have someone come, it would kind of die down for a little bit, and then it would start back up again. When it would die down, the mice that you would see would be smaller, and then you start seeing more rat-size rodents in the apartment.
Can I see the emails or texts where you're telling her about this throughout the course of the 14 months?
This is September.
It's not, okay, it's later in December where she says it's very unlikely that even the smallest of mice would be able to get in through here, but that's, I cannot tell you how small the hole can be for the mice to get in. So how was the treatment of the mice handled? What was the deal with that?
I ordered a pest control service on June 29, and I gave a phone number if they reoccur.
How many times did you call a pest control company out there?
4 times.
Okay. I mean, I believe you that there was a problem because you wouldn't bring it up over and over. So you feel that you should get half of your rent back for that?
Yes.
All right. You're counterclaiming against her $500 for legal fees for landlord-tenant court, $250, and then another $250?
Twice. One for housing court, which ended up...
Okay, but you didn't get your legal fees in housing court, so you wouldn't get that. That's where you go to get your legal fees for another tribunal somewhere else. That's where you would be asking for your legal fees. And then you say that you expended $250 on this case.
For the first appearance of this small claim court, I couldn't go, I'm busy. So I sent an attorney and they arranged adjournment.
Okay, do you have any proof that you paid the lawyer $250?
Yeah.
Let me see. Let's look at the pictures. Okay, what's this a picture of?
That was droppings.
Okay. What's this?
I don't know, this picture looks strange.
Okay.
Can't really see it. Oh, no, that's outside.
Yeah.
So that is the rat right there.
Oh, heck.
Oh, it is.
There it is.
And they would enter through that window, which it's going to.
Well, it's
and the
going
previous
home.
picture was the same thing, yeah.
And these
Those
are droppings?
And at one point, she came to the apartment to inspect whether or not the mice were coming through and picked up a dropping and smelt it as if it was fake.
I don't know if one were to pick up a dried out mouse dropping, there'd be an odor or not. That is a pleasure that I have not had.
Those are the holes that they would dig. So those holes were dug by rats going into the apartment.
Oh my goodness.
And that's it, one entering.
I could saddle that and ride it. That's a rat.
That's a real one.
Those are fixed.
And you can see there the steel wool that's pulled out by the mice.
So like this dark stuff that's right
Yes.
under the white?
Yes.
What's
No, we didn't
this?
get
I don't
them
even
all.
want to know.
That's my food that I left on the counter
Oh,
momentarily.
okay. I thought you had encased a rat inside of it. What about, were the baseboards ever changed or taken down and closed up so we could stop the mouse problem? And
They were very cheap.
no, I don't. I think it's more expensive to keep calling the people
is.
out. Yeah, no, it's much cheaper to do what I'm saying and try to solve the problem.
Yes, I spent like close to $1,000 for professional service.
Yeah, but that's because you're not solving the problem. If you solve you have to seal the holes where the things are coming in from.
They suppose seal all the holes, the service people.
How are they going to seal the holes?
Well, they say if they see any holes.
Well, they're not looking because I'm seeing the holes.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a problem. There was a problem. Is it a half a rent problem? Probably not. Especially because she wanted to stay there anyway, so it couldn't have been that terrible a problem. And I see that you're trying to address it.
So if there are mice in an apartment, can the tenant automatically move out and get their deposit back?
Well, if the landlord has made arrangements to get them killed and taken care of, no.
Okay, that's a fair point. What do you say?
Totally agree. Absolutely.
You have to give the landlord a chance to...
have to give the landlord a chance to do what he's supposed to do.
Anybody move out automatically? They see one mice? Anybody?
No, not at all. I wouldn't move out.
What do you say about if you saw a mouse in the apartment? What would you do?
You run away.
Run away. Good move going inside the courtroom.
It's a close one, I have to tell you, but I'm not going to order a rent rebate. I think this is retaliation for what happened and, all this bad blood between you guys. I think you never once thought of withholding rent, which people do when it's really unlivable. You wanted to stay there. I think that the measures that she took, I think that you spent more with these measures than you would have if you had handled it by sealing the holes to begin with. I think you should seal the holes now. I find the couch to be a piece of junk, and you're not entitled to $750 for that. It was a busted up thing. And I don't even think you were still really living there other than to say on 8/31, I'm staying, which was just a crazy thing to say because that was the end of your lease. On the counterclaim that you have against her for $500, I'm also finding 0. First of all, you can't ask for the stuff from landlord-tenant court. And second of all, I'm not going to award you $250 in legal fees because it was a close one. And you're entitled to legal fees when it's a ridiculous lawsuit. To me, it was a little closer than that. I'm not going to grant you the legal fees. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Well, in the end, no one prevails in these two competing cases. What are you thinking right now?
Not what I expected.
Rodent situation was pretty untenable. But,
well, that's what it was all about.
Well,
and I think if someone broke the contract because habitability is part of the contract and she didn't live up to that, that's what I'm suing her for.
Well, she tried.
So.
She had evidence that she tried.
Well,
okay, I'm sorry about that. You did your best, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You must sign some documents on your way out. Now, Ms. Pugmire, I didn't understand. I didn't hear if you step over here. Do you and your husband live there in the building?
No.
I didn't think so. I don't know why, but I didn't think so.
Because of the rodent situation.
No?
We can live somewhere else.
It's an investment property, and we try to do very good thing for tenant, always responsible. But some property, it's just not very price type of property.
Well, it's obvious you could be doing a lot more for that one because it sounds like it's kind of messy there.
Yeah, we try very hard to please
good luck.
tenant.
You got to do better. Okay?
Yeah.
But, okay.
Thank you.
You must be on your way. Thank you, sir. Harvey?
Okay, look, Doug, they are all right, by the way, that the landlord does have to have an opportunity to cure the problem. But the more serious the problem, the quicker the landlord has to act.